let's do the top lane tier list for the LPL next year. For those who don't know, I'm going to be co-streaming the LPL all next year. I'll try and co-stream every single game. So if you're interested, I'll give my takes on that as well. Who am I kidding? It's just the same degenerates that are going to be here from this year. Classic. All right, let's start. Let's start with the worst top laner of the LPL. And I just want to preface this. I'm going to be doing these tier lists based on last year's performance. I'm going to look at the entire year, but lean more towards the most recent 2 splits. Because it's more of a prediction of next year, and I'm not going to go of historical strength, right? You might tell me, oh, in Shear's first split, he looked like the GOAT. Don't care, right? Don't care. Stuff like this, I'm looking at how I think they will do next year, and the best info to go with that off of is looking at individual plays from the most recent splits. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to look at that for all of them. Even if they're on shitty teams, I've looked at their individual plays. I VOD reviewed for this. Yes, I have watched Sassy play again, right? And he is the first on this list, all lowercase. Sassy. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. Sassy is really bad. Sassy, I don't think is an LPL caliber player. I'll bring up his gold GG for you. He's really bad. No, he's really, really dog shit. And I'm sorry, it's just how it is, right? Let me bring up gold GG. Basically, he has a very weird pool. I think his best champ's Ambessa, but from a gameplay perspective, I think his best champ is Udyr. I'm playing weak side. So, Sassy greater than Hoya, no cap? No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the whole year.
Thank you.
Yo, Javik Popey, thanks for the gifted and the sub. I'm looking at the whole year, and Sassy showed me nothing. Nothing good. He had, I think, one good game, but he showed me nothing all year. Whereas Hoya at least had a good Winter and Demacia Cup. Like, good, I say, relative to how Hoya normally does. But the rest of the year, of course, Hoya inted. Sassy is the worst top lane in the league, one of the worst players in the entire league, like, just straight up. I think Sassy is horrible and will limit LGD. He will often draft terrible champions. Like, he'll play Udyr, and then your whole team has to play around Udyr. And, like, dude, this champ is terrible as well. It's so over-nerfed, and it's puts you on such a timer because the champ falls off a cliff. So, I think Sassy is really, really bad, and he's going to be the first on the list. He's the worst. What are you guys saying? Sassy can play at least one champ, Ambessa. I think his Cassante's not terrible too, but the player overall is not good enough. If you go and rewatch, I rewatched, it was painful. Sassy's the worst. He's really bad. Okay. Now, we're going to go all the way to the top again. The best top lane in the league, I just opened league by accident. The best top lane in the league is kind of up to debate. It's kind of up to debate. You're going to have people say... Yeah, people are going to all say Flandre, right? But I think there's an argument. I think it's competitive between 2 people. It's not Bin. Don't worry, I'm not going to put Bin. It's 369 or Flandre. And I think it's because 369 had a much... I think 369's end to the year was really, really good. And his peaks and the fact that he branched out was super good. The problem with 369 is he randomly fucking ends it. 369's Domestic King. He also popped off towards the end of, like, at Worlds. I think 369 is amazing. I think 369, he has random ints and runs down the game sometimes. But that's the argument for him. I think his end of year and his carry performance is really, really strong. But Flandre throughout the entire year and in Fearless was way more consistent. And I think throughout the entire year, he didn't have the lows that Bin and 369 had. So I would say that it goes Flandre. And I'll do 2 and 1 here. I think it's 369 after. Whoops, I put him in jungle. What the hell? Roll swap. Like, 369, he branched out. He started playing champions like Gnar, and he was, I think he was one of the best Gnars in the world. Right? He started playing Ambessa, he started playing Gwen, and he actually learned to play carries. His Gragas is still trash. His Gragas was still complete dog shit. Never give this man Gragas. But 369, I think, was the second best. Flandre's first, though, and I don't think there needs to be an explanation. I think he was good all year. I think he's super good and fearless. Wasn't he one of the only ones that were pulling out the Aurora top? Was anyone else pulling out Aurora top? Was it Breathe? I think Breathe did, right? And no one was playing Aurora top. No Shy on the list. I mean, the Shy's not on a roster next year. This is a tier list for next year, right? There's yeah, Flandre Aurora stats. Hang on, let me look at Flandre Aurora stats. He was the only one. Let's take a look. %75% win rate, 4 KDA. Like, this might be wrong. More top laners might have played Aurora, but like, he was like, his pool is crazy. And he thrives in Fearless. I really like his Rek'Sai at Worlds too, and the fact that he picked that up. I think he picked up everything that was meta. He played weak side, strong side, Renekton into Sion to range champs. I think Flandre is insanely flexible, and I think that makes him the best one this year. Okay, chat, who's the second worst top laner? Who's the second worst top laner coming into 2026? Now, we got to leave off two because we don't know who they are yet. It's not Bin. It's not Cube. I think the second worst... I'm going to leave off of players. Do we rank BLG Jr.? No, because I'm not going to pretend to know them, right? I'm not going to pretend to know them. I don't know BLG Jr.'s player. Okay. The second worst is Hoya. Hoya is... Yeah. Hoya, Aki, Setab. They're really bad. They were the trio were really bad. Hoya's best split was in Demacia Cup, where he played super well on champions like Aatrox. But he fell off a cliff for the rest of the year. He was on a terrible roster, but he showed nothing. He really showed nothing, guys. Like, Hoya is really, really bad, unfortunately. I think, like, this might have been a worse year than the others, but really, this past year, Hoya was absolutely terrible. And rewatching the VODs, there was nothing to show for it either. Let's take a look at Hoya's stats, just to take a look at what they show. Oops. Monkey came from BLG Jr. Fucking. Dude, how do you go 20% win rate, 1 KDA on Rumble? Dude, Rumble is like the weak side god champ alongside Sion. Just drop an ulti to farm. How do you have a 1 KDA on Rumble, man? Bruh, I can't with this guy. I can't with this guy. I think Hoya's really bad. Hoya Ornn is a classic. Dude, this Rumble champ was so broken as well. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Hoya's the second worst. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I think he's really, really bad. Okay, who's the third best? I mean, it just goes to Bin. I still think Bin individually probably has the best mechanics out of any top laner in the league. And that's not a big statement. That's not a bold statement, right? I mean, especially on his champs. You watch his like gameplay on Jax, right? I mean, at Worlds when it was Bin vs 369 as well, and just generally, I think he just has the best mechanics of any top laner. I think he's goated, and it's controversial. The Shy was up there too in mechanics. But Bin's third. I think Bin is really, really good. Obviously, he just had a really weird, inconsistent year. Yeah, I think he just had a really weird, inconsistent year throughout most of the splits. Got a bit better towards the end. I think in summer was a little bit better, but for the majority of it, it wasn't great. So third is Bin. Third worst. Oh, who is this? Who we got, guys? Third worst. What do you think? Where would you place the Shy if he was on this? I think the Shy is really, really, really good. I'd probably put him fourth here. If the Shy was on the list, I'd put him fourth right here. ZDZ or Sheer? Wow. Okay, so that's where we differ. No, the third worst is Cube. Third worst is Cube. It's too thin champ pool. Will get bodied by anyone better mechanically than 100%. Like, okay, so the problem with Cube is there's a couple ones. He is the best Scion. I am telling you right now, he is one of, if not the best Scion in the league. Dude, look at this guy. Bro, he has a 10 KDA and an 80% win rate on a very mid-table roster. 10 KDA on Scion over 6 games. That is insane, man. Dude, at some point, teams started banning Scion against him. Because I'm telling you, he's the best Scion in the LPL, in China. One of the best in the world. He's also very good at Cassante, but his win rate wasn't as good. Yeah, no, his Scion was crazy. But that's it. That's all he's good at. There was one game where they decided... they've tried very hard. So Cube was on Team WE, for those who don't know. And he would, and the team would try to get him to play carries. So what they did in Game 1 of Summer, they gave him Gwen. He inted the entire game away alone. We rewatched it. Inted the entire game away alone. I think it was versus the Shy. I can't remember who it was against, but... Oh yeah, it was versus the Shy. Played a carry matchup, ran it down. Cube gets bodied 100 games out of 100 versus players that are mechanically too good for him. 100 like he can't lose softly versus them. He gets fathered by, for example, the Shy every time, by Bin every time. You know, players like this, and that's like the biggest weakness. He's so bad, individually and micro-wise, unless he's on Sion or Cassante, and it's too much of a detriment. Because in Fearless, you just get banned out, or enemy denies it in some way, or, you know, something like this, and you're cooked. Okay, so Cube is here. God, it makes me sad, because I love Team WE, but every time someone was inting, and it was often Cube. Okay. Who's fourth best? This is where it starts to get muddy, chat. Top laners, in the middle of the pack, become it becomes a bit muddy. What do you guys think? I'm interested. So we got Breathe, Xiaoshu, Zika, ZDZ, Sheer. Let's just write them here right now. Breathe, Xiaoshu, Zika, ZDZ, Sheer. What are you guys saying? Xiaoshu probably no. Don't remember. Surely it's Breathe. Xiaoshu cannot be top 4. I don't really remember. Zika, where are you on the list? At the top. This is where I think there's just a massive drop-off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to emphasize this. I'm going to say there's a gap here. Right, there is a gap. Like, there's a gigantic gap. And then there's another gap down here. There just is. There's just gaps in, like, skill and who you want on your team. So now you have to order these 5. Breathe... Xiaoshu, Zika, ZDZ, Sheer. People are going to say Zika, or people are going to say Breathe, but these players also had really... all of these have flaws, right? All of these have giga flaws. Zika had a terrible spring individually. Like, Zika's spring was trash. Complete dog shit. And... it's like unacceptably bad. And it wasn't to do with the team being bad, it was him. If you look at it from his perspective, his decisions, they were all trash and all garbage. So it's like, I can't put Zika there. Because for 2 splits out of 3, he was dog shit. In summer, he was a bit better. Xiaoshu, I'm going to write the ones that have like a contention for 4th. Xiaoshu has his flaws. ZDZ has his flaws, but is up there. In terms of just being overall decent. Like, ZDZ is arguably... like, it's so cooked, man. There's such a big drop. I think no matter who you put 4th, people can be like, no, that can't be the case. Because Breathe is too weak individually. Like, Breathe isn't as good as he used to be. Breathe is very inconsistent and definition of mid. Like, if I had to put someone mid right now, it'd be Breathe. Right? Mid to bottom end, it'd be Breathe. Breathe is very, very average. And often has bad games. Not good individually. I'd put Breathe like there. It might have to be Xiaoshu 4th. You don't want Xiaoshu 4th because he's bad weak side, but his highs are the highest of any. Can we put Shy at 4th on the grey thing? Maybe. The problem is, Xiaoshu's highs are way higher than the rest of these players. Like, Xiaoshu's highs here are way higher, but his lows are lower. Not than all of them, but a lot of them. Not sure. Very difficult. Very, 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 very difficult. So Xiaoshu's weaknesses, right? Just to, sorry, I'm just thinking. Xiaoshu's weaknesses are, I've said these before, but we have a couple new people here, is that he is the best at some of the champs he does play, but an inter on a lot of other champs, and his weak siding is bad. Now, if I'm going to do this and frame it in a way where I'm like, who will perform the best next year, I would definitely have Xiaoshu here. Look, so this is like Xiaoshu's 0% win rate, 1 KDA Ambessa, but then his Renekton, in my opinion, is the best. And then he's also good at Cassante and other champs. But his Scion and weak siding and Ambessa is not good. He's also very good at Jax. I think I'm going to put Xiaoshu here because this is a tier list for 2026 winter. Is the shot going back to Valorant or where did he go? A lot of players are taking a break in winter Salamander. A lot of players are taking a break. He's one of them. I don't know if it's just for winter though. So I think going into 2026, I think Xiaoshu will do the best of any of these. Who's next? Who's next, chat? The bottom of here, this is Sheer. I'm sorry, I know Sheer has fanboys. Sheer is really bad. Sheer is really, really, really... He's better than these guys, and I would rather have Sheer over any of these. But Sheer is very overrated because he had a good debut. And he has the meme, right, of looking like a child. And he's very adorable. But he's not very good. At the moment. This past year hasn't been very good. I think Sheer, Crocker, Bulldog missing won't do well. These side lanes are really bad. And just general, the roster is really average. So I think Sheer goes in last place for top laners. A very underwhelming 2025. And he's living off of a lot of hype and perception from old years. Old year. 2024. Next is Breathe. Then after that, the choice is between ZDZ and Zika. Now again, ZDZ versus Zika is ZDZ is more consistent in my opinion. And more well-rounded. I remember like ZDZ's highs were crazy on Aatrox. Yeah, Aatrox. Dude, look at that, man. Aatrox 8.4 KDA. Now, I'm not a stats Andy, but like he played so well. And he made a good run with the Perukia roster. I think I'm going to do ZDZ next. And then I'm going to do Zika. And that's how I'm going to round it out. I think Zika's good, but he had too much of a dogshit start to the year. And this is going for next year. I think this is my tier list, and the grey represents gaps. I think that's it.